that situation with Hulk?
Pretty much under control, and then on the other side, I mean, as you could see, the pit stop and you know, a few things with the fuel consumption. But you know, we had the stress really not to finish the race. Otherwise, the performance was quite there. We could have been a little bit quicker, and it's a shame for Carlos also because he was doing an amazing race. Would have finished easy in the points, maybe 8 or 9, so it would have been even better for us, but at least we achieved what we wanted to have.
How were the people on the front left wheel feeling when that happened? I should imagine
you know,
they're thinking that's cost a few quid.
yeah, I mean, when the race stopped, we were shaking hands and you could see exactly who was the people, you know, but it's a team spirit, so we have to accept that. We just have to fix it because we're not so good this year about the pit stop, so we have to improve that. But yeah, at the end of the day, if you want to get a better team, you need to improve everything. It's one of the game that we have to improve.
And you can, if you've won some prize money, so you can afford to employ some more people back at the factories. You're acquiring talent, aren't you, back at the factory? What is the realistic expectation for next year? Do you think that Renault have grown and strengthened this year enough?
Yeah, I think it's very difficult to know exactly or to understand how much you can gain. I mean, the timing of what you can gain. You know, it's going to be. I always said it's going to be slower than people think. You know, and maybe slower, maybe better, because you don't want to go because there's no point. You know, you can see on the engine side this year we have improved. I mean, maybe nobody saw it, but better than we thought. But when you improve a little bit too much, you have a reliability problem. Not the same for on the chassis side, but we have acquired a lot of people, especially on the aero side, that will give the maximum, in my opinion, not next year, but in 2 years. So next year, the point is to make a big progression, and not only in terms of ranking, because you can finish 4 and still being 2 seconds a lap slower than the Mercedes and the Ferrari. So that will not be positive. We need to catch slowly to them, but there's no point saying today where we are going to be next year. Is too soon.
And Alain, you touched on the reliability side of things as well. How much emphasis goes into reliability as well as performance? What's the balance there?
The balance is very, very complex with these engines. Now you could see what Honda was. I mean, how they struggle. And for example, we brought a new MGUH this year, but it was everything looks okay, but maybe it was a little bit too soon. And we wanted to get performance because otherwise there's no point. At least we learn about it, and the way that what we learned this year could be positive for next year, but it was quite difficult during the year. We had a suppliers problem also. Nobody knows, but that can happen also in racing, you know. So yeah, that's why the performance has to be stable and consistent. There is no way you can gain from this year to next year maybe 2 seconds a lap. There's absolutely no way, you know. So how much it's going to be, I don't know. It's always a compromise.
And it's such an important phase in the development, getting back towards a championship-winning car, as you discussed there. However, Carlos Sainz, we know, Red Bull have got an option that potentially they could take him back at the end of next season. How detrimental is that to your plans? Because presumably, one thing you would really like is a balanced driver lineup going forward.
You know that in Formula One, there's things you can do or things you can't do. I mean, it was not, the market was not very, I mean, we wanted to have Carlos, you know, but we knew that it was a risk to lose him at the end of 18. On the other side, we are not ready to be world champions, so we have to accept a few risks sometimes. And at the end of 18, I mean, during 18, the market is quite open. So we will see what is going to happen, but we don't have all the cards in hands. That is true.
Yeah, but can there be a negotiation? Can you play off supplying them with Renault engines versus keeping Carlos? Are these the kind of things that could be on the table?
Everything is possible because we always have some politics, but that's not the case at the moment. You know, we are not thinking this way. But
Alain, are you enjoying your position? I know you're not running the team, but you're advising the team. But are you enjoying being back in racing in this capacity?
Damon, you know, today before the race, I was telling, you know, Cyril and Jérôme and all these guys and the mechanics, the engineers, I felt, you know, I still have the thing. I had the stress as you can't believe. So I enjoy.
You need to relax.
Yeah,
Eventually.
Yeah, I could live relaxed, but I could be a team principal. I don't want to do it, But what I'm doing is very interesting because also it helps a French team trying to be there. It's almost, I would say, almost impossible. The big is the performance what these teams get is. But that's why the challenge is interesting, and that's what I'm looking for.
You love your racing, don't you? Basically,
I love that.
So would you like to be more hands-on then? You don't not team principal, but would you like to be on?
No, I don't want to be more because it's even more interesting, And I like to have this position where I can look better and see and say what I want. If you are on a day-to-day basis, sometimes you really miss things. And I think that's where maybe I can help also the team in this situation.
Finally, excited about the return of the French Grand Prix next year?
Yes, for sure. It's we are French nation is a racing nation, and we have constructors, we have involvement, and it was like if you missed the English race, they would be very disappointed because our economy and the market around that is very important. So we need to. Everything is important, in a country. For us, it's also a big help, for sponsors, for the media situation, very important thing. But I'm not sure we are going to be ready to win this Formula, this Grand Prix next year, but maybe in 2-3 years.
Thank you, Alain. Thank you.